call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello, you degenerate fucks, and welcome to the Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday, the 11th of February, and we're just here looking ahead to Saturday's fixtures. Also, a wee bit in the next week with Champions League returns, so a big week of football ahead, and hopefully some winners for me and everybody else. Also be doing the nap, and have a wee story about my type of gambling and why I gamble the way I do as far as odds and amount staked and stuff like that, but I'll get to that towards the end. Firstly, I'm just going to run through the picks as I normally do. I've done two as usual. I haven't decided yet which one's going to be the main bet. It's probably going to be the teams to win, but I haven't 100% decided on that yet. So the two bets are, first of all, Hull at home to MK Dons, and they are 9 to 10, which is 1.9. Hull have had a few poor results recently, but they're still second in the league, but form-wise they're actually 12th. MK Dons are actually 10 points from 5 games. They're actually sitting 4th. But Hull at home, third best home record. MK Dons aren't great away from home, and I just think Hull probably have too much for them on the day. That's Hull at home to MK Dons at 9 to 10, which is 1.9. Next is a team that I don't know if I've ever backed before, but they're in very good form, and that is Mansfield away to Colchester. They're top of the form table in League 2, 13 points from 5 games. Colchester have only got 3 points. Mansfield have a decent away record. They're 4th. Colchester. Why am I calling them Hull? Colchester are 9th in the form table. Colchester's forms a lot of draws and defeats in the last 5. Mansfield is pretty good. A few wins, a draw, and 2 draws. So, yeah, I think Mansfield should have enough there if their form continues. Next one is Tranmere, who are in great form. A team, if you've listened to the episode before, you know that I've backed to get promoted. They are playing Grimsby away, and they are sitting 4th in the table, and then Grimsby are rock bottom. Form ways, Tranmere 12 points from 5, Grimsby 1. Away records, Tranmere's away records not amazing. They're sitting 8th in the table, but Grimsby's home record 10 points, not great. Previous games between the two of them, Tranmere, it seems to be the home team wins a lot, but that's in previous seasons where Grimsby were maybe doing a bit better. This season they're obviously bottom of the league. Next is a game that's not 100% priced up yet. I haven't been able to find prices, but looking at the form and who's who in the league, I think it's no matter the price, I think I'm going to be able to back it because it's AFC Failed. They play Gateshead at home, so it's 3rd place 10th in the National League North. And AFC Failed are, as far as I know, one of the only teams in that league that are still professional. They went down from the conference, the National League, the year before. They are sitting 3rd, as I say, against 10th. Form-ways, 7 points against 5 points. But the second best home record, FC Failed, 7 games, 19 points. That's pretty good. Just in the last 5, 3 wins, a loss, and a draw for FC Failed. Gateshead, 1 win, 3 defeats, and a draw. So not great form. Home form, Failed have 1-4 and drawn 1. And I say the price for that in my head, I'm gonna say now I think it's gonna be about 4 to 6, 4 to 7, maybe even be 4 to 5. But I would put money that it's gonna be around there. So hopefully it is around there, and that means that I'd be happy to back it. If not, I might have to make a late change, but I hope I don't have to do that. And then lastly, it's going to be Watford. Watford are at home to Bristol City. Watford currently sitting 4th in the league against Bristol City, who are 10th. Form-wise, both not great. Watford 8 points, Bristol City 3. But Watford have that best home record, really good home record in the league. Their last 5 home, they've 1 defeat, 3 wins and a draw. It's not the best price. It's 3-5, which is 1.6. So when you add the prices up, what we have is 9-10, which is 1.9, 10-11 for Mansfield, 11-10 for Tranmere, an unknown price, but I think it's going to be around 4-6 for AFC Failed, and then Watford 3-5. All together will roughly add up to between 18 and 19-1, maybe 21, depending on this price of AFC Failed. So that's one. Moving now on to the overs, which, as we know, overs is just basically, are they scoring goals now? Do they score goals historically against each other? That's the only research being done. So first team I went for was Dundee versus Dunfermline, which is 9-10, 1.9. The next one is Swansea versus Sheffield Wednesday, 6-4, which is a great price, which is 2.5. Next is Oxford v Wigan, it's 4-5, that's 1.8. Oldham v Exeter, it's 3-4, it's 1.74. Brighton versus Villa, 4-5, 1.8. That works out at around 25-1. So I think that probably will be the fiver bet, because that'll get you somewhere in the region of 130. If you're to stick a 10 on that, 250, yes, but then the other bet's only going to pay like 105, 100 and something like that, or just under. So yeah, I'll probably do it that way. So that's the selections for this week. Those are the 2 bets that I'll be placing on Saturday afternoon. Moving on to this week's Nap of the Week. And this week it was picked by Aka Attacker, who can be found on Twitter. He's also on Facebook, but he tells me that he mostly posts everything on Twitter. So if you want to find him, you can find him on Twitter. I'll give out his bio and stuff now, or his tag, his handle, whatever you want to call it. But I'll also put in the description of this episode, and I'll tag him in any social media posts. So if you want to follow him, he has about 500 followers. He does pretty well. So his at Aka, ACCA ATTACKER, Aka Attacker. As I say, he doesn't profess to be a tipster as such. He sort of says he just likes to share his research of his accumulator bets, and he usually bets with William Hill. He, as I say, was happy to do this. He sent me his bet. I looked at it. A funny thing was that one of the teams he sent me, or one of the games selections he sent me, is a selection that I have, a slightly different bet, but it's a game that I was looking at. So anyway, I'll get on to it. And his 2 selections that he's gave me are Fenerbahce versus, I'm not even going to try and say that team's name, whatever you call them, Karagümrük, whatever, whoever Fenerbahce are playing on Saturday. Both teams to score, which is 8-15. It's 1.53, which is basically about 8-15. And also Dundee versus Dunfermline, both teams to score. It's 8-11 on that one. So yeah, so Dundee I've obviously picked for overs. So here's hoping that game's at least 2-1 to any team. But yeah, I thought that was funny that I was looking at the Dundee game expecting goals, and he's obviously backed both teams to score in the game, which is a good sign, I think, as he said too. So that's it for the nap. That's my selections. I'm just going to have a quick glance at Sunday. I didn't look through in depth as usual, just a quick look. But a few games that jumped out were Brøndby in Denmark. They play away from home and they're a decent price. Everton at home to Fulham, I would fancy. I would fancy Brentford at home to Barnsley. They were a good pick. They were 3-5. It's a good price. Lille against Brest. Now Lille are flying at the minute, so they are due a draw or a defeat, but at home to Brest possibly. And then Atalanta were a decent price away to Calgary. I think they were 4-7. I'd say that's a decent bet. But as I say, that's just a quick jump or a quick look at the thing. I want to jump in there and back anything or give any of my picks of that yet, because I haven't fully decided. But that takes us to midweek. Midweek, we have, as I said at the top of the show, the Champions League is back. There is 2 games on Tuesday and 2 games on Wednesday. It's some decent games. Barcelona play, Liverpool play, some good games. I mean, we're at that point of the tournament where most games are good. We'll just go over quickly what's happening on Tuesday. So Tuesday there's 6 championship games. There's 6 League 1. There is 9 League 2. There is 8 National League. There's some National League North and South if it happens, because who knows if it's going to be cancelled. There is an EFL Trophy game. Oxford Tranmere, decent game. There is Champions League, 2 games, and those 2 games are Barca vs PSG. Barca sitting at even money, PSG at 23-10, which is a great price for PSG. And then Leipzig versus Liverpool. Leipzig are 23-10, Liverpool are evens. That's in a neutral stadium. Also looking at that, I've read today that Liverpool might have to play in a neutral stadium as well, because Leipzig won't be allowed back into Germany if they travel to Anfield. But that's for another day. So, say Liverpool at even money in a neutral stadium. That's a good price. What other games are on? There's 4 Northern Ireland Premier League games. There's a Portuguese game. But so Tuesday, decent night of football. 2 good Champions League games. Wednesday night, there is 2 Premier League games. There's 6 Championship. 1 EFL Trophy. This must be the semi-finals, this trophy, is it? Which is Sunderland Lincoln. Another good game. They're both good games. The 2 Champions League games are Porto versus Seville Porto versus Juve and Seville versus Dortmund. 2 good games. They're very, very good draws these here. Dortmund at 7-4. I know their form's been poor in the league, but 7-4, not a bad. And Seville haven't been great this season either in the league. That's a good price. Next, there's a French League 1 game, a couple of Scottish Premiership, a Scottish Championship, a La Liga game, which is Atletico Madrid 5-6 away to Levante. Another decent price. Some good midweek prices there if you get on early, or hopefully they're not backed in too much. But yeah, at least the Champions League's returning, and we all like the big games when they come around, so you probably have some money on them, because I know I will. Just looking at next week's nap, I'll probably start sending out a few messages today to try and get someone for next week. If not, then obviously I'll do it myself, but hopefully I'll be able to get somebody sort of that. So, before I let this go, I did get a question from someone in a message, sort of asking why I bet the way I bet. Basically, a lot of my odds tend to be around 19, 20 to 1, maybe 15 at the lowest, maybe up to 25 to 1 type of thing. And I tend to put £5 or £10 no more on the bets. And basically, it's just because that's, for me, what I enjoy. It's what I think the risk is worth. So I see a lot of people on who have maybe tipster pages or whatever, or just people in general who are giving out ACCAs. Maybe do like a 5 to 1 shot, 6 to 1 with a tenner on it. For me, yes, okay, they might win, whatever, but I don't enjoy that really. And then I see people maybe betting £20 and £30 on that 5 or 6 to 1, and I don't see the risk there being that I'm going to put £30 on to win. Yeah, okay, I'm going to win, 180, 200 maybe, but it's a big investment, especially if you like to gamble every day, as most people who love football and like a bit of horse racing or whatever else do. So for me, I just enjoy the way I do it. For me, sometimes if it's just a wee interest bet, it'll be £2, £3, whatever. That's fine. Or a wee bet builder, or But for me in bets, when there's a lot of football on, I like to do 4 or 5 maybe selections, maybe 6, depending on price, and get a win back of 120, 130, 140. Sometimes a lot. Sometimes it's a bit more. Sometimes it's a lot more. But that's sort of like the minimum. That's what I enjoy. That's where I feel like I'm staking a reasonable amount of money that I can afford, and winning what, if I win, will be a decent sum of money to be able to go, yeah, well, I've won, winning £70 is like, well, okay, you won, but it's not going to break the bank. Whereas even though it's only 120, it's only £50 more, it feels like a larger amount for some reason. I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but that's just the way for me, it's just the way I like doing it. But it takes me to remember a story of the first time that I won that I remember. I might have won before this, but the first time I remember winning sort of biggish money at the time, and it wasn't actually on football. At the time, it was the 2000 Grand National. What happened was, at that time, I think I'm giving away my age here, but I was around 17. I think I just turned 17. And yeah, so I think I'd been betting a wee bit from then, but probably a small amount, £1, £2 maximum, because obviously I'd only left school or whatever. And back then in the UK, anybody who's my age or maybe a bit older would know that all bets then used to have a 9% tax. So for every pound you staked, you had to put 9p in tax. And it was abolished maybe in 2001 or 2002. But so that meant if you did a £2 or £3 bet, you did a £3 bet, you had to put 27p extra, so it was £3.27. £5 bet, £5.45. And it was a bit of a stroke, to be honest with you, because the tax was only supposed to be paid on winning bets, but you had to put it in at the start. So technically, if you'd have put a £5 bet on, you had to pay £5.45. If it lost, technically you were due your 45p back, but no one ever went round and got it. Maybe for a fiver they did, but if you were betting £2, which most people were doing, big tenfold accumulators for £1, £1.50, £2, £2.50 maybe at the most, they weren't going to go back round to the bookmaker and say you owe me 18p or you owe me 22p because when it was on the half. So yeah, so that back then, so back to the 2000 Grand National. So obviously a Saturday morning, me and a friend had woke up hungover because his dad had rang him. This is a time like mobile phones were, not everybody had them, but we had them. His dad had rang him and said, listen, there's a tip for this Irish horse that's in the National today. It started off 30-1. It's already down to 22s. Get up, get round to the bookies, take every penny you have in your pockets and put it on it. And we were like, okay, so we're laying there half damn a hangover, looking at each other, and we're like, right, well, we'll check what have we got here. So put our hands in our pockets, and I think we'd worked out about maybe a couple of pound each, £3, £4, I think at the most it was. Worked out, right, if we'll take a bit out of my copper jar just to make up the tax and whatever else so we can get more put on it. So I don't remember exactly, that's the thing, I don't remember exactly how much I put on it. But what I remember is we got ourselves round to the bookies maybe 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes after his dad had rang us. And another thing his dad had said is, when you go to the desk, make sure you tell the girl or the guy behind the counter to write the price on it, because this horse has already came down from 30s. I got it at 22s, he said. It's going to be lower, and it's going to go off as one of the maybe top 3 or 4 favourites. So we were like, okay, right, no problem. So we went round and said, I don't remember how much I put on it, but what I do remember is that it was 18-1 by the time we got round. So in 35 minutes it had dropped 4 points, which at the time I didn't know what that meant. But anyway, so I put whatever it was, say £3.27 or could have been £3.50 plus the tax, which would have been another, say, 31p, so £3.81. It's something like that. I put it on, or £4, whatever it was. So as I say, he put whatever he was putting on, £3 odds, £4 odds. I put on, but I was putting on £3, £4, whatever. So we went back to the house. We never really thought nothing of it. It wasn't until later that we realised, oh, that's right, we'd done that bet on the National. I think at the time we were watching Football Focus or something, because this is before, I think, Gillette Soccer Saturday or anything like that was about. You had to watch Football Focus. So we turns this race on. We're watching the National. None of us had ever watched the National before, or horse racing in general. And there was this horse, Papillon, that had been brought in from 30s to 22s to 18, down again. It actually went off 10-1. Still wasn't the favourite. There was a 9-1 favourite in the race that Tony McCoy was on, who was the champion jockey. And so the race started. The horse was running well, whatever. Anybody who's watched the Grand National know it's chaos, especially then, 21 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever it was. Big fences, horses falling, half the field didn't finish. But towards the end, Papillon just kicked into gear and just went from sort of in the pack and took a couple of length lead and just went on. And that feeling of, you know, watching the horse just kick away from all the rest of them, and the adrenaline starts going and this and that and whatever. And then I remember just as it went over the lane, probably won by like a length or two. Me and my mate were just like laughing and going, you know, basically that's tonight paid for. That's us. We're getting the carry out, and we're getting this and we're getting that, because you know we'd won. You know, we'd won like maybe close to £60 or £50 each now, which back then was sort of biggish money. But yeah, just as I say, so that's kind of stuck with me, of the small to medium investment for a good return. Even when it comes to horses, I very rarely back favourites in horses, but I'll have a wee dabble at an each way shot. I think that's why, and I think that's one of the reasons why I hang, is just I enjoy that sort of chance to win from something small. Chance to win, I wouldn't say big, but chance to win a sizable amount from a small investment, to me, is the way I enjoy gambling. So, as I say, it's each to their own. Some people like doing it like that, some people do it differently, but I say that's each to their own, and you know, that's up to them. So yeah, that's a bit of a story for you. So that's basically it for me for the day. All it leaves me to say is, if you are doing a bet this weekend, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.